All right, today we are talking all things reverse mortgage. I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why they're a good idea, 5 reasons why they might not be such a good idea, and several other things. But before we begin, do hit that subscribe button. Please share this with anyone who might use this information. We're trying to bring you just the straight truth about what's going on with this specific type of loan for senior citizens, which obviously can be a very sensitive subject. So, where we can go to get a reverse mortgage. Now, there are several options for getting financing for a reverse mortgage. You can use a mortgage broker such as myself, who's an independent person out originating loans on your behalf. I have access to wholesale lenders and different products and things that none of these other options actually have. Other options to get a reverse mortgage would be a specialized reverse mortgage lender. Now, these are lenders with bigger budgets. You'll see them advertised on TV. They might have celebrities from, hit TV series in the 80s and things of that nature. And all these companies do is reverse mortgages. You can also look at different banks and credit unions and find options to get a reverse mortgage there. Now, of course, there's also the online lender where you can look online and try to do a reverse mortgage with an online lender. I do believe a mortgage broker is your best option for getting a reverse mortgage. And why? Well, I'll tell you why. I have all the options, right? I have access to home equity lines. I have access to cash out refinances. I have access to private money if the situation needed it. And I have access to reverse mortgages. I can shop between different reverse mortgage lenders. They all have different rates, different margins, and even different qualifications nowadays. And so I have more options than someone you might call with the big advertising budget that specializes in reverse mortgages. Now, what are the key considerations when choosing a reverse mortgage lender? If you've done the research and you're looking for a reverse mortgage lender, what should you be looking for? First of all, you want to look at their reputation, of course. You can do an online search, see what other people are saying about the company, about the officer that's going to be helping you, and see, are they taking care of the senior citizens as they should be. Next, fees and rates. There is a big difference in reverse mortgages with fees and rates. There are companies that will charge origination. There are companies that do not charge origination on the front, and that'll be thousands of dollars between the closing costs if they're charging origination points or not. Customer service. Are you going to be able to get a hold of these people when you're going through the process? Are they going to be able to explain the process to you in a way that you can understand? Can you go see them? Can you drop off documentation? Can you sign the documents in person? I think a lot of these things are important questions to ask yourself when getting a reverse mortgage. And I think that's a big reason why using a local mortgage broker such as myself is a great idea, with a brick and mortar shop and a local reputation showing that you can trust us. Product options. Now, there are different types of reverse mortgages. There's fixed reverse mortgages. There are adjustable reverse mortgages. There's lines of credit. There's options where you can get money paid to you every month. And there's options where you can get a draw and pull from the draw. You can get a one-time draw. You can get draws over a certain period of time. There is a lot of options out there. So you want to make sure you're dealing with a company that has all the options and isn't just trying to put you into one thing because it's easy or get you the most money, but it might not be the best terms later on down the road. You don't want to get in trouble because you took the wrong option on a reverse mortgage. Counseling services. Now, you're going to need to go to a counseling service, so make sure the person you're dealing with has access to counseling services that are in your area, or at least very easy to do over the phone, over Zoom, things of that nature. Most importantly with this topic, just thoroughly do some research online, ask questions. You can always make an appointment with me, Garrick Wardmuller, to help you out in finding who the best providers are for a reverse mortgage. We do wholesale lines of credit and fixed reverse mortgages for people, as well as jumbo reverse mortgages and lots of different products out there. All right, so now let's talk about the 5 benefits to getting a reverse mortgage. Now, I think one of the main benefits is enjoying your golden years, enjoying retirement, right? Imagine life without making a monthly house payment. Wouldn't that be incredible, right? Now, that doesn't mean that a reverse mortgage has no house payment, because indeed you are having interest accrue on that loan every day and every month and every year as you live in that home. So do not think that the loan doesn't get bigger, because it does when you're living in the home. However, you're not writing a check on the 1st or the 15th or whatever to your lender to make a house payment. That is not happening. So you don't have to think about it. All you have to think about is paying your property taxes when that comes, and your insurance, of course. But imagine that with no house payment. Also imagine it does allow you to access all the equity that you've saved over time in the form of a line of credit or a cash out loan perhaps, and then you're still able to use those proceeds and still not have a monthly payment. Number 2, you can get paid your way. There's several different options you can use to access the equity in your home. You can have a term with no payment like we discussed, and you can also have a lump sum paid out to you when we distribute the loan or over the course of a couple years. Or you can even have set amount paid to you every month. So it's kind of like you're getting a paycheck every month. Pretty cool. So that's a great reason to get a reverse mortgage is the flexibility, having cash to do what you want when you want, and nobody has to know. Number 3, this is a good way to consolidate debt. If you've got a lot of outstanding debt with higher interest rates, a reverse mortgage is a great way to lump all those debts into one loan, and then you don't even have to make a monthly payment on that loan, as we've discussed. So consolidation of debt is another great reason to get a reverse mortgage depending on your situation. Number 4, paying medical bills. Now, I have seen this personally when writing reverse mortgages many times, where it's a lifesaver to get a reverse mortgage, literally, in order to pay hospital bills, continue to pay hospital bills, continue to go to see the doctor even with the proceeds of the reverse mortgage. So a very important reason why you may need a reverse mortgage is to continue to pay your hospital bills and all that good stuff. Number 5 is a reverse mortgage does protect you from market fluctuations. Once you're in a reverse mortgage, let's say and the real estate market goes down, real estate market goes up, you are in that reverse mortgage. And so if property values are declining, that does not affect your situation in your reverse mortgage. You can actually be underwater in a reverse mortgage and nothing's going to happen to you. You just have to be living in the property, have to be a senior citizen, and that's about it. Now, there are a lot of good reasons to getting a reverse mortgage. However, there are a lot of reasons why it's not a very good loan for a lot of people as well. Now, here are 5 good reasons why getting a reverse mortgage is a bad idea. First of all, a reverse mortgage is more on the expensive side. There are fees associated with it. There can be origination points. Do look at those, I will say, and shop those around. And there will be what's called a mortgage insurance premium on most of them that are backed by the FHA. Some reverse mortgages out there now are not, and they're more private and don't follow the guidelines that the FHA ones do. So there can be differences there. But overall, they do have an upfront mortgage insurance premium. And then there's also a monthly mortgage insurance tied to those with the FHA product that we're talking about. Number 2, after you move on from this world, there can be a lot of complicated matters with the property after the death. If someone lives with you but isn't on the loan, for example, they may be forced to move out. And if you have debts outside of the reverse mortgage that need to be paid off, your heirs may have a lack of funds to do anything, and they may be forced to sell the house and get nothing. Because a reverse mortgage does accrue interest. Every day you're in that house, the balance of your loan is going up. So know that, by the time you sell, if the value is lower than the proceeds, than the loan amount that you have, then there won't be any problems with the bank that owns the home at that point in time. But there will be problems if you're trying to refinance it or get the name transferred into your name, etc. There could be a lot of big complications. I've seen it happen. Number 3, repairs, insurance, cost of living. Now, even though a reverse mortgage doesn't mean you're not paying a monthly payment out of pocket for your mortgage, It does mean that you are responsible for the repairs of the home, right? To keep it habitable, you want to keep your property in a nice condition. You are responsible for insurance, of course, to protect it from any kind of disasters. And you are responsible for property taxes. And you are responsible, of course, for your own cost of living over and above the mortgage. So, if something happens to the property and it's a big expense, there could be unforeseen, issues there in keeping the property habitable. Number 4, relocating is restricted. So let's just say if you're in a reverse mortgage and you just happen to decide to move to assisted living, for example, that mortgage needs to be paid off. Something has to be done with the home. If someone's moving in, they can't move in with that reverse mortgage. They're going to have to refinance and put it in their name and get it out of a reverse mortgage. You are restricted to living in that property as your primary residence. Now, that can be the purpose of a reverse mortgage, but it can also have complications should you want to move to a different part of the country, downsize, smaller place, assisted living, like I say. There can be other complications. Number 5, impact on other retirement benefits. Now, funds from a reverse mortgage aren't considered taxable income, but they can affect your eligibility for government programs like SSI and Medicaid. So it is important to consult a financial advisor to understand how a reverse mortgage might impact your overall retirement strategy. So a reverse mortgage has a lot of upside depending on the situation once again. All right, so we've talked about good reasons to get a reverse mortgage, bad reasons to get a reverse mortgage, where to go to get a reverse mortgage, what to look for when you're getting a reverse mortgage. Now, I'm going to tell you some stories that have happened in my origination days with clients very dear to me and reverse mortgages, both good and bad. Now, one of the first ones I ever closed, it was a sweet little old lady in her 90s and her daughter, and they were just flat busted and didn't know what to do to keep the hospital bills, to keep the hospital trips coming for the borrower. It was just a bad situation. They would have been homeless without a reverse mortgage, dare I say. So, but fortunately, I was able to put them in a reverse mortgage. This person lived another 4 or 5 years, and the daughter was able to sell the house, move on. We did something else after that too. So that was a very positive, probably like the most positive experience I've had in originating a reverse mortgage, because this was like the only thing they would qualify for, and it worked perfectly. Divorce. Get this. I had a client getting divorced, and he had to do a cash out loan, and he had a fixed income. This happens all the time. This is kind of why reverse mortgages exist, especially in the Bay Area where everything's so expensive, right? But this guy was getting divorced, and he couldn't get a home equity line of credit. He couldn't get a cash out refinance. It didn't make sense. So what we did, we actually did a fixed rate cash out reverse mortgage. He was really thrilled because it's a fixed rate, way below. It's a great rate right now, I will tell you, with where the markets are today as I record this. And paid off the wife, ex-wife, I should say, never had another payment again. The guy's still just living the high life, and just great situation there. For vacation. Now, I actually had this cute little couple come in, and they didn't have any kind of financial hardships or any kind of issues whatsoever. They just had a lot of equity and, didn't need to pass it on to heirs or anything of that nature. And they just wanted to go on vacation. And that's what they did. They went to Italy. They went all over Europe. I don't remember exactly where. They went all over the place. And so a reverse mortgage, they had an equity line of credit, and they could just pull out what they wanted when they went. And they didn't have to worry about paying it back. And they were, take out a little bit, do this trip here. 6 months later, they'd go somewhere else. And very conservatively, they traveled around the world with their reverse mortgage. Pretty awesome. I had a situation where a realtor friend of mine had parents with the reverse mortgage, and they had this thing for a long time. And they were trying to, they wanted to keep the property that was in the family for a long time. However, due to the reverse mortgage, there was no equity in the property whatsoever. I mean, this thing was in a reverse mortgage for decades. And as it stood, the values did not match with the balance of the loan. And so there wasn't really much they could do but give it back to the bank. So I heard of a situation. I didn't deal with this situation, but I believe this is very, very much a thing that can happen. Is a husband, to qualify for a reverse mortgage, did not put his wife on title. They just put the husband on title. And so when the husband passed on, the wife wasn't on title. And therefore, the wife did not have any ownership interest in the home, and the bank took the home. So I don't know if anyone did that untoward towards these people, or if it was just this is how you qualify for a loan. But the wife was not on title, the husband was. And when the husband passed on, the wife could not get the house. All right, so there you have it. I'm Garrick Wordmuller, President, CEO of Fresh Home Loan Inc., independent mortgage brokers that work for the people. We are here to help you just provide information on the reverse mortgage and how we can assist, what you might qualify for, whether or not it's a good idea. Maybe you just need an equity line of credit. Maybe you don't need anything at all. I'm here to help you make that decision, regardless if we close a loan or not. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the advice that you need in order to make the educated decision. And of course, I want you to be my client, but I want it to be on our terms, right? On the right terms. So definitely here to help you out with all your reverse mortgage needs, all your conventional needs, all your private money needs. That's what us independent mortgage brokers are really good at. I've been doing this a long time, over 2 decades, and I know how to structure a loan. It doesn't matter what kind of loan it is. We're going to get it done for you, and we're going to do a great job, and we've got your back. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends, family, coworkers, looking to buy, sell, or refinance. Garrick Wordmuller, President, CEO, Fresh Home Loan Inc., independent mortgage brokers that work for the people.